out this series. However, Envy fighting gonna try and change that up here. Let's see, Talia off of the bans once again.
So far, the same bans as the prior game. And yeah, to talk about them a little bit, Envy always had the chance to make the comeback happen. We know they have good players. We know they can make it work. It's just a matter of finding that formula once again, because it's been lost for a little while for this squad, taking their time for the second ban, and we'll see what Envy chooses to do here. If they're playing around a special first pick, if they're playing around denying. Shen gonna go off the table after seeing that Gangplank ban. Not a huge surprise, honestly.
Yep, definitely don't want to let Hanser have that, because that was a champion. He was happy to play defensively, happy to give up some CS. Not gonna go down in the 1 versus 1. Didn't die to the ganks either. Was able to give up CS instead of dying for those, and just able to come join the team fights and come join the other side of the map with the ultimate. So take a couple of those right off of the field. Malzahar, they don't want to let that get first picked. The Sivir also, to me, is such a high priority right now, just because it gives you so much power in the late game, and it's not even that easy to punish her in the early game.
I agree.
So, I mean, the wave clear and the utility from the ultimate are pretty much always there. So, might find her face on the bans again, but another jungler focus here. Rek'Sai, once again, off the board as Envy banned that one.
We expect to see her face in Champ Select somewhere. The question is, does TSM ban it here, or do they give it over for the potential first pick to Lod? And it is going to be the ban. Lod will not get to play this champion. Have to find something else to do. And now it's time for Envy to make the first pick. And looking at champions left on the table, Vladimir was one of them. And that gets grabbed right away.
Yep, definitely one of the most banned champions against him as well. Good in many compositions. I'm really curious to see what the summoners will be for him, to see if it is the ghost for the extra team fighting. But as we highlighted last time, and as we usually highlight in Envy games, Karma is such a high priority for them. TSM actually going to steal that one away for Bjergsen as they double lock the other supports, so it's not even a flex pick. Just straight up, we're going to go mid lane Karma into the Vladimir.
Okay, interesting. So it does give TSM the chance. Yeah, you're right. It could be either way. We'll see what it ends up being here for themselves. And I actually like looking at Trundle here, because you can use it as a semi-flex. We know the matchup's fine into Braum, but also it's a solid 1v1 champion for Seraph to play, and should have good matchups into almost everything that Hanser could pick into it. So that gets locked in. Gragas, I think, makes plenty of sense as well.
Well, yeah, so you said, well, actually, yeah, it is the reworked Rise now, right? We are on 6-14. So I was going to say, there's a couple matchups in the top lane that could have used Trundle, but no.
You played enough of reworked Rise to want to bring him out.
Yeah,
if he's even good enough.
A lot of people still up in the air on that one. I definitely lean towards the side of he's weaker now. I just don't know how much weaker. I haven't seen anyone use the ultimate very well yet in just random rankings.
Right,
but these are obviously much higher skill players, and maybe they've been able to put in work early.
I ran into one where I thought it was an Echo W for a second, so I waited for a second. I was like, oh, that's Rise. Oh crap, and I was already dead because I was playing Ashe. So I've misplayed into an enemy Rise ulti before, but yeah, I don't think we're going to see him this week, although I do think the champion's probably playable, just needs the practice, and that hasn't happened yet for these teams with pretty tight practice schedules. We're already adapting to 6-14 and the rest of their changes. Nidalee Kaelin going to be grabbed up, so TSM really haven't changed much with the recipe. They didn't get to play Malzahar, but they put Karma in instead, and they won't get to play Shen.
Once again, I'm really curious why Proxen is kind of giving up on his Nidalee. I thought that he was one of the better Nidalees that we've seen in North America, and Gragas also has the same difficulties in dealing with that champion as far as getting invaded upon as Hecarim did. Maybe they feel like they can outplay more in the lanes and not allow Nidalee to come in so aggressively and be able to collapse upon
I mean,
her.
Gragas is more of a dedicated ganker, right? Like Nidalee needs some setup for it to work out as well, and
yes, she's not going to destroy Gragas in the ganks. It's going to be about farm,
keeping your jungle alive.
Gragas is going to lose jungle priority.
Yes, he will.
Basically, is what happens.
Yes, he will. Yes, he will. And it's going to be up to him to make the point.
Ooh, baby!
All right, Kog'Maw is in.
What? They picked Kog'Maw now and not with the Lulu?
I know. There was a better time to play Kog'Maw. That's when they were playing Lulu top, but now they've got it here without the Lulu top. It's with a Maokai and a Trundle support. So a huge beef wall to keep that Kog'Maw alive and Vladimir be disruptive.
Yeah, okay. Regardless, though, they do have great front line. They also have Gragas disengaged coming from the jungler for Kog'Maw, and we'll get to see how they can play around this. This is team fighting here from Envy. very, very much so. And we'll see what Haunter decides to take into the tree. Maybe he wants to burn it down.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time to make the choice. Rumble would be all right for themselves. Aurelia actually tends to be pretty good, and that's going to be the lock-in, actually. Aurelia in the bot lane. Our graphic did not update, but that is Aurelia locked on my screen here. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like what it really is, but Haunter is playing Aurelia in the matchup. There it is. It gets swapped up, and that's good. He's gonna play against Seraph up in that top lane. Yeah,
I really have been liking, actually, the couple of teams that have been going back to Maokai, like the LPL WE 959. Really strong game that they were able to take off of RNG, and just going back to this very secure team fighting strategy where you've got a huge front line, you've got Kog'Maw behind you, dishing it out, and Kog'Maw early spiking now. You know, Wit's End is so cheap on him. You can get Wit's End, then you can still get Runons and split multiple targets. It's just so many on-hit options.
Yeah.
We'll see if Envy can actually use that mid-game, because it is definitely mid-game, more so than, you know, you don't want to go late-game heads-up with Caitlyn.
It is playable. Like, compared to when we used to see Kog'Maw in Spring Split, his late game is better than it was back then.
Yeah, people still have this old notion, though, of, like, late game Kog'Maw.
Oh, the insane, like,
he's the super late.
Yeah.
And we need to, like, shift people's thought process.
True.
About how to think about those AD carries.
He's not full Jinx Caitlyn status. He's very mid-gamey.
Yeah.
He does have some late game. We'll see how it lines up, but he's less safe, which means you can always pick that guy off, which makes the late game worse when it comes down. But we are here for game 2 with Lod bringing out Kog'Maw for himself to try to make it happen now for Team Envy. TSM picked away what they could. They've got some nice matchups around this map. Got to counterpick both solo lanes, got to grab that Caitlyn Braum once again, and they're hoping to make this a 2-0 to keep their hopes alive, to tie Immortals back in first place for that inevitable showdown next Friday, which should be the battle for first. But Envy hoping to keep their season afloat right now because teams are catching up to them in the standings. They could sure use some wins.
Not sure if the cheers were for this game or for the next week face-off with Immortals.
Will be good.
Super hyped for that one.
Couple of cheers for Biofrost.
And they are doing a positioning for an invade, at least for TSM. 5 man.
Check this.
Yeah. It's going to be over a ward, so Envy will probably just make the opposite move on the other side of the map and go get their lane swap wards down to check it out as TSM do move in to get theirs.
All right, Lod's going to be okay. He'll see the ward come down. I don't think it's going to get dived. Can he kill it? Nope, didn't do it in time. Could have theoretically killed that ward, though, with the W attack speed.
Yeah, plus, didn't have to give up his position. They knew that he's on the other side of the ward now. He is going to recall anyway and try and fake them out a little bit, but... So TSM actually, now, they can't even assume if they don't see Lod that he is on the other side because they know that he was already past it.
Yeah. We'll see what they end up doing. TSM going to keep their dual lane towards the bot side, actually. They're going to make a blind guess that they're going to head off their opponents. That's not going to be the case. Looks like they're going to go for... Oh, this is nice. TSM going to probably take an early red buff. Looks like they'll help Nidalee get it, though, so it's not going to be like a double camp start.
Yeah, it's just a little bit awkward because they're starting on the opposite one than normal, but probably should not be a triple buff if Envy just move up in the standard quadrant up there and actually realize that they need to split the map in a regular lane swap split.
But Envy have actually killed camps faster. Prox is done with 2 camps, whereas Svenskred's still in the middle of his second, so there's a small lead right now for the Gragas in this race. He's got just a stronger leash overall. Haunter was able to grab the 3 minions of XP in the top lane. Hakuho did not, Seraph did not. He was leashing the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, so not only did the jungler and top laner kill 2 camps, but the duo lane also killed a camp. That's why they cleared out the entire blue quadrant so quickly.
Oh, that's what it was.
So yeah, so Envy a little bit ahead just as far as jungle monsters, but you can see that Svenskeren did move up into the greedy side here. He went red quadrant to red quadrant to take away 1 extra camp from Proxen. And now he's actually trying to fight him on the weak side.
Ooh, pushing around Svenskeren, gets hunted once again, and Nidalee's gonna get away pretty cleanly, but pushed out of that side of the jungle he wanted to take camps from.
Yeah, Nidalee should just be just fine though.
Got to point something that happened off camera. Seraph lost his flash. He actually dropped turret aggro as part of the lane swap game. So Seraph flashed out of turret aggro, I believe was what happened, but he's now missing that summoner. He's going to hope he doesn't face any opponents for a while.
Yeah, that is actually pretty dangerous for a top laner. So you know, sometimes for TSM, they're probably not watching that lane since that's the lane swap lane they're giving up and trading the turret in.
They probably have no idea.
So they might not even know that Seraph doesn't have that. So Seraph just kind of bluff that he does, and maybe TSM won't try and take advantage because low probability that TSM actually know.
Meanwhile, of course, Hansler was known to have teleported to the bot side, so there is a TP disadvantage, which may or may not matter later on. Seraph going to be pretty safe as he holds the top lane freeze for now, and we'll see what happens afterwards. Envy's dual lane headed to the bot side, no surprise there. Kog'Maw 22 CS has a dagger and a Cole. Pretty sizable, pretty nice actually recall for him.
I think the biggest difference is that Envy plays these lane swaps a lot differently than most North American LCS teams. As you can see, you mentioned when the teleport was used by Hansler, most North American LCS teams try and get their top laners as much experience and gold as possible, just scraping together a couple of extra, you know, minions dying in range, and then using the teleport early as Hansler did, so that if they do meet up, you know, any sort of small advantage there is earned. And Hansler does have a small advantage over Seraph because Seraph held on to the teleport and just did the walkover strategy that Envy have been using. Now, not every game Envy have been able to make that teleport discrepancy count. So sometimes the enemies just get away with a little bit of a top laner lead. But sometimes Envy try and use Seraph's teleport really early on. And he is a Maokai, so you do have a very easy point-click snare.
And it's worth keeping in mind that all the XP that Hansler had gained by leeching in that one lane, Lod gained by killing a Thrum that the TSM dual lane was leashing. So, you know, the same total XP was actually gained by both teams, just in different places in a way. And we'll see if it comes back to hurt Seraph much, if at all, as round 2 the lane swap comes in and the standard 3v0 continues, as the players are facing off in the mid lane and the junglers are forming their camps, and the other laners fight turrets. Ninja getting low on health, running away. Thunderlord's triggers, gets hit again, and dodges a chair.
Chairs and spears, everything's coming at his face. Oh my,
that was
so
nearly
close.
lethal damage right there. Ninja lives on roughly 1 health and gets away with it, but this is not a good matchup right now for Ninja. Bjergsen is heavily winning this one.
Yeah, you could say that again. Ninja's definitely
heavily winning this one.
Keep his...
Never got to do that before. That feels like a sitcom line, and I finally got to do it.
A little cheesy, but I wasn't expecting it, so you got a chuckle out of it.
I'm glad, thank you.
Regardless, though, you can actually see the pings on the pink ward that TSM left. Usually teams will leave trinket wards deep in the lane, the extended lane right there, but pink ward actually dropped off in that long lane for TSM, so they do have extra deep vision that's going to stay there a long time. Rarely do teams walk up through that ward, and Svenskaren's already using extra vision here to invade on the side to try to poke around. There are way more members as Envy have swapped this to their strong side, duo lane going up here. But Svenskaren's still trying to poke around, see if he could fish for any steal on the Wolf camp. Able to get a little bit away, but Proxton very happy that he's keeping up here on the Gragas.
Yeah, and honestly, gold-wise, he's identical to Svenskeren. Sven himself has more XP. He leached some from mid when he went for some of the earlier pressure, so he's level 6 to 5, but gold-wise, they're the same.
Yeah. I think the main thing is that TSM, though, Svenskeren, he can go down to this red quadrant. Because remember, this is the lane swap where strong side for Envy, or for TSM, is on the bottom. Right now, he's getting ganked on top, though, for Seraph.
And it's through a huge minion wave. Seraph was not able to fight back.
Yep, too many minions. But anyways, I'll return to the jungle point because TSM, while it looks like Svenskeren was clearing his own side of the jungle, he's actually clearing the lane swap side that's strong for Envy. And now he's moving into the red quadrant. So there are 3 camps extra for him to pick up. And he can pull ahead of Proxton, but he's actually standing on a ward right now, wasting some time. Oh, I think he did pass through it because he walked this pathway to get down there. So they know he's there. They just couldn't continue to see his position.
This would be a hard dive to make work, honestly. Level 5, Kog'Maw gets away from the javelin. That could be enough, but now Bjergsen's here. The dive out of the turret, and Lod will get picked off. A well-executed dive. Now, how much more can they get? Seraph is in. Can he find a route? No, it's actually the minions that have aggro. Body slam flash gets blocked, and Proxton can't get in. That's 3-0 for TSM. Maybe it's going to be 4. Seraph running for his life. Burden gets cut down for Timber. 4-0 TSM.
That mid lane karma shield from Bjergsen. Double left also with the flash heal to barely get out of range and stay alive. Heartbreaker for Proxton. Heartbreaker for Envy, and we actually have the observers chiming in that in the path, Svenskeren was able to sneak just barely into that brush as well, so the ward didn't see him path to that position or stand there, and TSM just barely able to get everyone in position and have the surprise, the initiative on that dive, able to pull it off. A second there either way, and it does turn out a little bit differently with Envy getting something back, but with TSM sneaking in through the fog of war, a clean dive, no kills given over back to Envy as they move in with all 5 members. Teleport comes through, roam from mid lane as well. W8D3 is tanking and does get hit by the Kog'Maw passive, but flashes to the other side. Body slam can't get the distance.
I'm not even sure he landed it.
No, yeah, he couldn't get the distance there as tried to flash in for it. Needs to eat a couple more cheeseburgers, gain some more hitbox width on his body, but W8D3 stays alive, and no problem there for TSM. First early aggressive, that's the kind of the risky move for TSM that they take in the early game. Now all their consecutive invades are going to be a lot,
dive.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot less risky because they have this gold lead to work with. They got so much out of that. Extra turret lead, kills on everybody but the support, so that went pretty much perfectly for them.
Well, this looks pretty good for TSM. Everyone's got the same scoreline basically, and Envy running out of options about as fast as they did in the first game.
Yeah, I mean, with Hunter freezing up top, they pretty much can only go for the Rift Herald as the Drake was taken by TSM afterwards as well. And Rift Herald is extremely strong now. It takes a long time to take. Ninja actually the one taking a beating here.
Rooted, stunned, running low on health, but he's going to get the empowered Q and heal back up okay against Biofrost. Thanks, buddy. All right, they're going to be okay, but yeah, TSM, 3,500 gold lead already. The jungle matchup didn't seem to mean too much. It was the fact that they pushed in the bot lane, went for the dive, and Svenskeren himself was able to sneak in really nicely. Now W8D3 with a trophy in front of him. He's had one of those before.
They know he has no summoners, so he's pretty screwed here.
Into the explosive cast. Nets away a little bit. Can they give the kill over? They're not even going to get the assist to him. Lod with no extra money.
I mean, it is a small amount considering the big play that TSM just made on the bottom side, so they're not too worried about that mistake. However, TSM as a team are always looking at the one little thing to improve on. Even if they win the game, that is something that has happened in both games in this series to W8D3, and they will definitely take note of that for later. Not too big of an issue for this particular game, as they got such a giant lead previously.
Yeah,
but
probably doesn't lose in the series by any means. But
definitely
something to iron out. If that game weren't 4-0 and you made that play, well, now you're losing the game, and yeah, definitely an issue you can look at either way. Here we go, Rift Herald, clean pickup. Hanser grabs that. And it's gonna make his matchup even easier. Already up 20 CS and 2 levels. Yeah, you're like chiming two, like yes, yes, he's up quite a lot, and he'll probably continue to do so.
Yeah, that gets very rough for Maokai, as early Trinity Force for Hanser will mean painful things, not only for Lod as he tries to stay safe in the backside, but even in the one-on-one, Maokai hard to get tanky enough if Aurelia's already got Glimpse of the Void and the 2-level lead plus item lead on him.
Right, I mean, Seraph could try to tank up, but Hanser does true damage, and you know, it's super effective against damage reduction. I feel like he'll do pretty well for himself on this one. 30 minions now, the advantage almost. And
there was a stupid Pokemon joke within that super effective line that you had, but I'm not going for it.
That was the point.
You're baiting me with it. I'm not going for it.
His name is Hanser.
Pokemon jokes are flavor of the week.
Yeah.
Staying out of it.
Steel type versus plant type. Here we go. Nice jump over the trophy, and Svenskeren's going to be okay. Looking for the take on this red buff, and Nidalee trying to chomp down. Gets it. Nicely done, Svenskeren. Now it's on a Proxen.
Oh.
A bunch of projectiles all trailing behind him. This time he gets away.
I turned into Mario there for a second. Proxen's able to get out of door number 2 here. Has Hanser in it, though. What's he going to do? 2 versus 1.
He's going to try to kill Proxen. Flash the chase. One more kill. ER auto crow. He's not going to get him quite yet. Slowed down by Seraph. Proxen, be careful. If Q comes up, he's dead. Q's up. Q's up. Proxen would die to him.
Yeah, Proxen's baiting. He's staying just outside of Q range, though.
3 summoners burned for 1. They do get the kill on a Hanser, though. Ninja takes part, gets the kill. A couple small pieces coming in now. Ninja forced to run away from Bjergsen. Doesn't get rooted up. Nice blue buff takeaway by Svensker.
These small little mistakes from TSM that we talk about stacking up, these are that's another note on the chalkboard for post-game. As Hanser did have vision of both people and stayed in the bush a little bit longer, able to fight. He did get that, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Agawa takes a javelin but walks away, and the Wit's End is done now for Lot on this Kog'Maw. So the first spike is in. Probably going to go Hurricane second. That's more typical. Frost blocks some of the damage, walks in for a slow and a Ninja.
All right, TSM, they've had enough of their straggling kills.
Oh, Ninja! Turns into a pool of blood. He's going to be okay for now.
Yeah, they've had enough of these small little mistakes stacking up. They don't want to give away any more. So back to serious game plan here. Siege up, have Hanser. He's got his Trinity Force. He's got Glimpse of the Void. Oh, actually, he's joining mid. They might just try and fight this mid turret as it's about to go.
Oh!
Ninja.
Whoops!
There's another pool of blood there, Freak.
Yeah, he thought he had the heal from Hemoplague coming in, but then took a bunch of poke right at the end and misjudged his durability. That is a sad death.
Whoops-a-daisy.
Yep.
Anyways, TSM, very happy to come away with that kill. They can return for the turret later because they have Caitlyn for the traps you lay down during your siege, long range auto, also easy to hit. Then they have the poke coming in, Karma and Nidalee, and Braum can even protect your minion wave. So this is such a great siege, four-man squad, and nothing will change with that plan as far as how they want to finish out the game. Hanser does have his Trinity Force, as we mentioned, so he's fine in the 1 versus 1 up there. Will gain pressure there as well. And they stack up with Drake number 2.
Beautiful stuff right now. TSM in control. Not quite as clean as their first game of the series, but still sizably ahead right now as they've gotten Cloud and Mountain Drake. They've got the rotation ones, basically. Get to the turret, kill it fast. Get the next one.
Get to the Baron.
Kill that Baron. Kill that fast, exactly. Ocean Drake. Make sure they have full resource while killing the Baron fast. All good things. And it's an uphill battle right now for Envy, who honestly just have not had many good points to talk about. Their 2 kills, like their 2 turrets this game were because of lane swaps. Their 2 champion kills this game were capitalizing well on TSM overextensions, but it's not been a lead they've manufactured. It's been Envy receiving, oh, hey, he's out of position. I guess that's free then.
Yeah, and it's not like they didn't try. Like, they had a defensive ward on their bottom lane before the TSM died. And that TSM bottom lane play is where they got this big early game advantage that they've been milking ever since. And it was just a little bit out of line. Didn't quite see the TSM rotation as TSM in the proactive team able to create the advantage themselves.
Oh, explosive cast does nothing to Bjergsen, just stuck inside the wall anyway. They can't get the pick off. It doesn't land an empowered Q or anything anyway, and mid lane turret does go down. Good siege by TSM. Sad for them, though the Proxim's cast did not deliver them Bjergsen.
That's where it has to come from for Envy, because Seraph is still, honestly, a little bit squishy. I mean, he's got the Sunfire Cape, but keep checking in. He's not only 2 levels down on Hanser, he's even 2 levels down on the enemy AD carry. Yeah. Like, Seraph overall is a low level in this game.
He's the 3rd lowest. He's only ahead of the 2 supports. That is it. Everyone is higher than him.
We mentioned in Champion Select, it looks like they're going to have this beefy front line, but the tank champions on the front line have been starved a little bit, so they're not exactly the meat shields that you want.
No, they're not. So it's going to be a long road ahead for Envy to get a beefy frontline. Problem is, TSM are not one to give teams a lot of room to breathe. And it might feel very claustrophobic quickly for Envy.
Well, Hanser, I actually want to see him go for another 2-on-1, because these are lower levels.
Right.
So maybe you can burst out the Kog'Maw before, I mean, Chunda's got exhaust and they have heals, so you're not going to be able to do it. But I'd like to see him try.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Do it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Can he stop one? Oh, no, he did!
Oh, no! Hakuho left him! Yeah. Unlucky. Seraph, goodbye. Gets taken down to the back line. Goes Ninja, but he's about to get stunned. Want to tackle? Do it! Doesn't quite get hit by that one. Heals up with the minions, but 2 for 0. Bot lane turret already almost dead.
Well, that is a low morale point for Envy. Whenever you lose fights on opposite sides of the map at the same time, very rough to come back from. Hanser going to get a free push on top side now. The 4-man poke siege squad here from TSM still very much operational and takes down the inhibitor turret.
Ninja could be dying soon as well. Nearly gets stunned up. Svensker wants the auto attack. Won't quite get it. And here comes the dive into Proxima. Look out. There's a lot of damage from Kog'Maw. Hanser's trying to get a health. Gets picked off by Ninja. Finally something back in for Envy. That Kog'Maw artillery is scary. Ninja forced a flash away, though.
So is Double Lift. And let's see. Let me check in if he has enough money for Infinity Edge. Yep.
Yeah,
so he's going to have the crit multipliers coming through on Caitlyn as well. Those are going to get even more scary. He only had a second. Yeah, see, he backed off there thinking that Hakuho was going to stop. But Hakuho completes the recall, and Laud left out to dry.
It's a nice layer of CC. No chance for Seraph to flash away. We go back into this one as we see Svensker peacefully recalling in a brush.
Job well done for him so far. Feeling pretty nice about the Nidalee this time around, but
we have Bjergsen going for the supportive build again. So this is something that we've seen many, I would say most mid lane Karmas do. It's Athene's into Ardent Sensor and just trying to keep his team healthy.
And he still has respectable poke. We see it come out still from the mid lane Karma, just with the levels that you have.
Yeah.
Is he highest level in the game? Yeah, tied for.
And he's actually maxed Q first, so
as well. So
he is trying to kill minions.
Yeah, the damage is still respectable from the supportive build of Karma, and then the shields for saving your AD carry. Once you get to the late game here with the Caitlyn really starting to ramp up. Next crit item for Double Lift will mean very, very threatening from the back line. And the Randuin's is still very far off for Seraph. So Double Lift can really start to melt through that line as well. Very difficult to get past the traps, and Envy, again, have that same...
Yeah, their life is hard. The one good thing is they've gotten their first power spike, though. The Hurricane, the first major, I would say, power spike. The Hurricane's now done for Laud. So the Kog'Maw is about as online as he's going to be in the mid game. It'll probably be Rageblade second, or sorry, third is what I've been seeing from Kog'Maw, but that's almost 3,000 gold away. So that'll be a long road, and TSM might just win before that even happens.
Yeah, considering Hanser is pretty scary on this Aurelia at the moment too. Going to be hard to peel him, and he's, what was it, 3 or 4 shots on Laud last time he was able to kill him. I think it was 3 if you don't count each ult activation as a shot.
There's actually a great quote from Meteos about this. He says, he's like, I figured out how to deduce whether Aurelia can kill you if she dives you or not. And the answer is yes. The answer is yes, she can kill you if she dives you. And I took that one with me, and it's served me ever since. The Hanser, yes, can't kill Laud.
Age-old AD carry idioms.
Aurelia can, in fact, kill Laud at all points in time. Be afraid, Kog'Maw's everywhere. Ninja trying to get control of a mid lane, and Envy looking to sweep up around Baron. One ideal team fight can work. I mean, they can sap the stats from the tank by using Hakuho, and you know, he can try to be tanking up alongside Seraph. If Laud is, for some reason, untouched, he can kill everyone.
Well,
they're going to try.
They're
going to try to burn down Baron. TP is down from Hanser, and he's stuck in the bot lane.
He's not stuck there. He's walking up.
Going to kill an inhibitor.
I mean, Baron's going to do so much work right now.
Seraph's so low already.
Run for your lives, Envy, run!
Oh no, they're already running out of health. They're getting sniped out. The 4v5 wasn't even close. It's Envy just running out of HP. Svensker invading the round on the side. Here comes Bjergsen, the other one. The bottom inhibitor, by the way, already going to die. There's really no chance for Envy on this one, losing more of their base. The Baron bait did not pay off. They were able to walk away with their lives, but they weren't able to walk away with much more than that. Their dignity already in shambles.
Inhibitor stuck to the ground.
Oh, do it. Oh, he missed the pounce. It wasn't in range.
I mean, yeah, you're not in range for the extendo pounce.
Yeah. Instead of a pounce, it's a pound. 16 ounces. That's okay. Mid lane under fire. And here comes the next minion wave. TSM might knock it down on this one.
Yeah, notice something small that Bjergsen is doing is speed boost shielding the first minion so it gets in there quicker and they can start hitting the turret. Here goes the engage from Envy.
And Seraph flashes out from his own root target. Ninja dives in to try to be disruptive, and it's up to Laud to deal all the damage. They delivered in Hanser, and now Double's caught out. The body slam lands, and Laud is doing the damage. Envy gets a 2 for 0.
And Baron is up as well. Can Envy make this comeback work?
They need another Fortum CC for Bjergsen. They won't quite get it.
Oh. Okay, Svenskeren might have to go back to base here. I mean, Envy are so desperate right now because they have nothing going for them besides this huge play right now. They have to go for this Baron.
They've got enough tanks. They can kill it. The question is, can they be stopped by TSM?
Or can Sven steal it? That would be such a heartbreaker for Envy. Making an epic comeback right now. Uh-oh!
Lot could die. Lot is dead. That's already one picked up. Javelin lands, and TSM are in the business of delaying and messing with Envy. They've actually got to peel off the Baron. A heartbreaker. The kill, and now the teleport flank is in for Hanser. Picks off the support. Ninja's going to be in his sights as well. That's Bjergsen getting another one. Seraph will drop on top of that one. 3 more picked up. It's only Proxen alive, and well, he's got nowhere to go.
Live and tell the tale of your team.
There's the snipes. He's dead. He's gone. That's an ace. TSM, no one's going to stop them. Baron will go to the red team, and this looks like an ever increasingly likely 2-0.
Yeah, so the thing is with that, whenever you make a comeback like that, you feel like you're so desperate because there's very few windows to get back into the game.
Right.
And you just want to jump at the first one that comes. While it is probably smarter to not take the risk and, you know, just play it safe and say, okay, now we're going to have to make another big play to come back into this game, most people are going to fall in that trap where, all right, we need to make the Baron now to actually complete this comeback. So they try for it. It's just TSM are so far ahead at this point. They are still even able to collapse. Svenskeren went and got some extra health off of jungle camps and then just returned. So he didn't have to go all the way back to base, and then they delay long enough for Hanser's revive timer to come back up and just teleport in.
Yep.
But I still respect it from Envy.
Right.
Because that's the gut call where you got to rally around something.
I mean, that's the problem, right? Is there's so few windows. Envy looked for it. Sadly, it was Windows 8. And so, you know, wasn't the one for them. TSM took him out. Woo! Thank you, crowd, for enjoying that one. Here we go, though. TSM looking to make it that 2-0, though. Top lane 2-2 is gone. Bottom hit will respawn soon-ish, and right now it's just flooding farm into Lod's Kog'Maw, but he's still not at Rage Blade just yet. Envy's going to hope for an even more fortunate fight than the last one. Top inhibitor turret still getting whittled down. Double Up takes it out. No threat on him. Damage on a Ninja. The red buff in means that Vladimir is heavily low on health now. Inhibitor itself under fire. Oh, by the way, Hanser's will push in the mid lane, so it's going to be triple inhib for TSM. Still wearing the Baron buff for over a minute and a half. And this could be the road to victory now. TSM hoping to pretend that the Phoenix 1 match never even happened, make it another 2-0 to add to the list of teams they've completely bodied so far this split. And here we go.
Baron empowered super minions gonna be the final hit on the last turret here.
And here comes the flank, here comes the dive. Rom ulti up and a Ninja. Here's the damage output from Lod, killing what he can, and he picks up one already. He's picked up a second. They're maybe turning it back around. Hanser's got nowhere to go. Lod's kiting it out, but be careful. Even with only 3, TSM are strong enough to win a fight. Envy still have to be careful. The poke comes in. Hanser, 1,000 HP left. Damage back and forth. Ninja healing back up. Minions flooding forward. Looks like Ninja will stay alive. Javelin won't do much, and yet again, Envy able to withstand it. They have no pressure on the map. Triple inhib means a lot of map pressure, but it means a lot of farm and a lot of XP going back towards Envy.
Man, now you're kicking yourself a little bit more for taking that risk on the Baron after the first one team fight, because they actually come up with another one here.
Yeah. Imagine if you didn't give him 5 kills in Baron, maybe this fight would be your equal. Or closer.
Regardless, though, you know, one step back in the road here for Envy. Now it's all time to just clear out minions as quickly as possible.
And it's going to be Rage Blade for Lot.
Yeah, they can get a lot of gold from all the minions, but TSM should just head right back to the base while there are 3 lines of super minions all bumping each other up and try and finish the game off. Here we go, though, Envy. They keep Lot alive. He's got 1 stack of Braum passive left on him, 200 health to his name, but he's still firing away, and he was able to fend off TSM for a little while. Here they come, though, for round number 2.
Rage Blade getting picked up right now, so this is the last item Lot probably gets to buy this game, unless they can somehow win it. TSM hoping to make the push in back towards the bot lane inhibitor. Only 1 Nexus turret alive, poking back and forth, proxing down at 2,000 health. More damage on a Seraph, a Chair Ninja. Wave cleared away, and this inhibitor at half health. More poke going back and forth. Hurricane Barrage gonna come in. The flash engage. Ninja wants in. Low health double lift. And the ulti from Biofrost misses. They bought some time, and Seraph walks away cleanly also. Inhibitor is up, but minions are flooding in on the other side of the map. It's gonna be Envy forced to retreat from this. I think they have to give the inhib to keep the Nexus alive.
Yeah, good job by TSM disengaging there, not overextending again. They know they have the minions to their advantage.
And now they've got positioning as well, so here comes the push on in. Lot needs his W to be back up. He's the one doing the damage in the team fights. But TSM once again out of minions. New wave coming in the top side.
Envy can fight TSM, but they can't fight TSM and 3 lines of super minions, and that's why
Lot's running
TSM
out
are
of
just
help.
waiting around.
Lot is 1 Q from dead to Haunter, who's also going for Ninja right now, trying to kite away. Blade Surge would kill him, and he's gonna get the first one picked up. Turret's gone as well. Now on to the Nexus. Lot also picked off a nice double kill for Haunter, and that's all she wrote. TSM will make it a 2-0. Envy made him work for it, but the work was done.
TSM strike back. Quick recovery from the loss of Phoenix 1. Did not shake them.
Yeah, sad for Envy though. Back-to-back 0-2s on this week. They got swept by C9. They got swept by TSM as well. Certainly, it's one of the hardest weeks you could have in the North American LCS. And in fact, game against C9, that was even close for them. But sadly, it couldn't happen. They had almost to come back against TSM. That couldn't happen either. And it means that Envy moves down another loss. Their record to